Hey everybody, you're watching A Physio Named Jonah. That's this guy. He's a bit of a sad this guy this week for the Jets organization as a whole, for the team, for the fans, after watching possibly the most catastrophic first drive of a season that I can think of. Definitely that I can think of. I still can't believe it. The first drive, 4 snaps, 75 seconds, all the memes, all the stuff about how short it was. It's just not fair. Just moments after carrying the American flag out into a roaring MetLife crowd, Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles in his first drive as a New York Jet. Just brutal. Just brutal. In this video, I'll explain to you what an Achilles tear is, and then walk through specifically what happened to Aaron Rodgers. If you are new around here, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell. If you like learning about the human body and things like sports injuries, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so let's talk about the Achilles. The Achilles is the largest and strongest tendon in the body, meaning that obviously it's pretty important. You can actually feel this tendon really easily if you run your fingers up the back of your heel. It is the long ropey tendon that is right at the back of your heel. The Achilles is a tendon, meaning that it connects muscle to bone. Specifically, in this case, it connects the muscles of the calf to the bottom of the foot, primarily through the heel. What this means is that the Achilles is responsible for helping the muscles of the calf pull up the heel and position the foot into a pointed or plantar flex position. This is because the muscle, that's the calf, pulls through the tendon, that's the Achilles, to put force onto the bone. That's the heel. This causes the heel to lift and puts us into that toe down position. If we tear this tendon, this means that we can no longer actively place ourselves into this toe pointed position, meaning that we cannot do any activities that require this, like walking, running, pretty much anything athletic, because we can't create that push or toe off movement because we don't have that tendon connecting anymore. This tendon gets torn because a really intense amount of stretch or strain gets placed onto the calf and by extension the tendon. This can happen in a few different ways, but generally involves the foot being planted and the rest of the leg being forced forwards, and this causing a very large stretch into the back of the calf and then down through the tendon. With this in mind, let's go through Rodgers' injury step by step, and we'll take a look at where things happened. This is the angle that best shows us what happened to the Achilles. We can see that as Floyd is tackling Rodgers and he's spinning around, his left foot gets planted on the ground and his leg is forced forwards because of the weight of Floyd coming down on top of his leg. This stretch causes a lot of strain through the calf and Achilles tendon, and you can almost see in some views the calf muscle actually rippling as it pulls up the back of the leg after the tendon lets go. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Rippling is happening at the back of the calf because if that tendon lets go, there's nothing anchoring that calf muscle down to the heel. So with the tendon freely breaking, the calf muscle rolls up or recoils up the back of the leg. So if Rodgers just tore the biggest, strongest tendon in the human body, why is he just standing there like a stoic superhero afterwards? Does he not feel pain? Is he immune to suffering unlike the rest of us? Why? Why, Aaron? Why so stoic? Well, he's a pretty tough dude, credit where credit is due. I mean, the guy did just tear his Achilles and he's standing there. But this often is not reported as one of the more painful athletic injuries out there. To really oversimplify it, if you think of it, because the tendon was completely torn, there's no fibers anymore that are getting pulled on. It's just severed. So there's not a lot of signals that can cause pain because the tendon is completely gone. There's nothing that it's getting pulled on anymore. So generally we just get athletes that look really concerned or confused because they can tell something is wrong, but they're not entirely sure what. Generally, they may be aware that it's their Achilles, especially if they've had calf injuries recently. Kevin Durant a few years ago in the NBA Finals comes up, where he was just feeling at the back of his heel, and you could see him feeling where his Achilles should have been, but was no longer. Again, this is in contrast to other injuries where Tearing things is often excruciatingly painful. ACL injuries are referred to as one of the more traumatic injuries that a person can go through. Even a high ankle sprain is incredibly painful. Actually, while watching this game, I had originally thought maybe it was a knee injury or a high ankle sprain based on the way that he kind of got twisted around as he was going down. But this made it really confusing to think, why is he so calm about this? Oh my God, like, these injuries are incredibly painful, and he's just standing there and taking a seat afterwards. It wasn't until they showed the angle from the side, a little more focused and slow-mo, and you could see his foot get planted, that it was like, okay, there's the problem. This is not good. This is not good, Jets. This is bad. On a slightly separate note, I had a couple comments that went up on the short that I posted during the game about my fears that Rodgers had, in fact, ruptured his Achilles, that they thought that he was faking this injury. I don't know if this is a dominant kind of thought out there or just a few sort of random comments, but I would hope at this point that the slow-mo video of his calf rippling and the team's announcement of a torn Achilles would completely put to bed any thought that this wasn't somehow faked and that Rodgers faked his way out of an opportunity to win a Super Bowl with this team. I think Robert Saleh's face that they zoomed in on directly after this injury pretty much embodied the internal screams that were going up throughout all of the Jets fandom that is out there. Man, I really feel for this team. I really do. There was so much buildup, so much excitement. I really did think the Jets had a great opportunity to go very far in the AFC this year, if not win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. So this is obviously a huge hit to that and a huge disappointment. Maybe they can come back from it. The team has a lot of great pieces to build off of, but man, this is a doozy to come back from, obviously. Go Zach Wilson. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. If you stuck around to this point in the video, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about this injury, and now you understand the context around it a little more. So hopefully that helps you understand more about what happened to Rodgers and why he will absolutely not be returning this year. If you have any questions about this injury or other injuries from week 1, feel free to drop them down in the comments section below. I do my best to answer relatively quickly, and I look forward to chatting with you there. But most importantly, guys, as always, move your body, have a laugh today, and I will see you at the next video.